Hey now, does anybody remember guides for Pete's sake? Yeah, me too. And I'm sorry that it's been a while since our last cave biomes video, but here we are now, ready to go down under once again. We have a series to complete, so let's get to it. And today, it'll take a village, everyone. A village to bloody clear the village biome effectively, that is. The village biome is an extension of the wilds, aka the outskirts of the ruins proper. And as you can see, it is darn near claustrophobic. That is, unless you get villages that are a little more scattered than most. Of course, world generations are going to be different for everyone in terms of size, location, you name it. But one thing remains the same. Villages contain just a little too much as to just go gun-ho into them whenever we want. So I think it's better if we break down everything separately instead. Starting with splue monkeys. These annoying apes spawn from splue monkey pods that can be found dotted about the ruins, yes, but are extremely common in village biomes. Each pod houses 4 monkeys and releases one every 30 seconds. Pods can be set ablaze, which is highly advised most of the time, but hammering them for manure, bananas, and heck, maybe even a gnome trinket is an option as well. When killed, monkeys respawn at pods every 2 minutes, but when outside of the pods, they do nothing but harass us pretty much. Monkeys do tend to follow the player now and then, especially though if you have a banana in your inventory. But speaking of inventories, yours are not exactly safe around these apes. They will go through hutch even. They will go through our dang chests. And if anything is left on the ground, they will snatch that up as well. Heck, and if it's a hat, the bloody things are gonna wear it to rub it in your face. Oh yes, splue monkeys are the banes of our existences. That said, say you do manage to kill one. The rest of his buddies will drop pretty much everything they stole and run on back home for a time. And that's great and all, and using items as bait for monkey murder is a viable strategy. But here's what's gonna actually happen most of the time. You're not gonna be able to kill one, and the rest will get angry, and then you're just gonna get crapped on. Literally. Splue monkeys do have a melee attack. However, the player will experience it rarely, because most of the time, these guys are going to keep their distance and poo you for minus 10 sanity a hit. And they also have 3 manure each, all of which can be thrown at you, and guess what? They replenish more with food. So gross. So what are our options here? Well, baiting them individually with items as said is an option. Having a Wendy/Abigail combination somewhere around to slaughter them with ease, again, always lovely. Befriending rock lobsters or bunnymen to do the exact same. Having Winona's catapults around potentially. Maybe even using Wickerbottom's books to create hentai fields of hate that just slap them silly. Or heck, just destroy their homes and forget about them. Because at the end of the day, it's kind of debatable whether killing/farming splue monkeys is even worth it. They do drop a morsel and banana each and every time, which is nice, so again, it is truly player choice. But as for the nanners themselves, both raw and cooked bananas aren't really gonna do much good for ya, with only 1 to 3 health restored, 12.5 hunger, with slightly more if you happen to be playing Wormwood, and then a whopping 0 sanity. That said, bananas are used in a very simple recipe for banana pops. A food item that gives 20 health, 12.5 hunger foremost, with Wendy benefiting from 27.5 hunger due to the new favorite foods mechanic, and 33 sanity overall. Not terrible, albeit forgotten most of the times I think. But splue monkeys also love harvesting cave banana trees, by the way, and expect plenty of cave banana trees to be within the village biome once you visit there. Oh, and come the full nightmare cycle, splue monkeys happen to transform into shadow splue monkeys, and they're quite possibly the most terrifying things in this entire freaking game. They relentlessly pursue you unless they are killed or the cycle is over. Their numbers are what slaughter you, as stun locking can occur with these things. They follow you anywhere and drop beard hair as well as nightmare fuel now. This is exactly why you either get rid of them as soon as possible or straight up ignore them entirely. But before we get on with the far less extensive mobs you'll encounter, let's just briefly mention the only other flora you'll be finding in the village. Lichen. When picked, it gives you lichen itself. And at the end of the day, lichen could be a lifesaver down here, even with that -5 sanity hit. Cause eating lichen when you're running low on food following some ruins runs is something that everyone will experience at some point. Other than that though, don't expect too much to come from lichen. It does stand as a requirement for unagi. However, unagi itself is a long lost recipe. 20 health, under 20 hunger, and only 5 sanity is not something to work towards, especially when the required eel can be used for far superior recipes. But hey, it's a thing. But on to those other mobs, however. Sure, slurpers are highly abundant around these parts and within villages, similar to splumonkeys, but getting a grip on them is way easier. Slurpers are easy to dodge, easy to kill, and very easy to understand. They drop 2 light bulbs each and every time, with a 50% chance to drop a slurper pelt, an item needed for an upcoming craft. But let's say you don't dodge them. Slurpers roll their way into ya, not only dealing damage, but potentially leaping to the top of your noggin. And when this happens, they not only knock whatever headgear you had on, they actually do provide a light radius similar to that of a miner's hat. Can be transported most anywhere, even to out of the caves, and begin a hunger drain of your hunger by 1.7 points per second. Getting them off your head, though, is very simple. Either just right-click on your head slot, or just equip another dang headgear item. Easy peasy there. And most of the slurpers you'll encounter will be sleeping. And that's cause slurpers only roll around freely when they're actually hungry. As yes, they do have a hunger stat themselves. But this is what makes slurpers very easy to handle, as most of the time, you're just gonna kill them before they even wake up. Slurpers can also attach themselves to bunnymen or pigs, and potentially even hunger drain them both to death. For you see, slurpers actually fall off players once their hunger reaches 90%, but when they stay on other mobs, they stay until the mob is dead. So, I guess starving in a game called Don't Starve isn't just a problem for the dang players. But, these slurper pelts, what are they actually used for? Well, that would be the magic item called the Belt of Hunger. 6 slurper pelts are needed for a belt that, when worn, reduces our hunger loss by 40% and provides a bit of a sanity gain for us along the way. It is certainly a niche item meant for the likes of Wes or Wolfgangs really, but it does serve a purpose if used well enough. And already the final mob found in the village, dangling depth dwellers. These guys are even easier to discuss. They are bloody warrior spiders, but white, and have a nest that cannot be destroyed, at least in Don't Starve Together, that is. Sticky webbing indicates their locations, and they share the exact same loot as every other spider in the game. So yes, very simple enough, just expect tons of them around the village biome is all. So now, to wrap up with all the extra nonsense, like the Thule site walls all dotted about. Grab a hammer, fight the annoying apes once more for the drop loot, and save the Thule site fragments you'll be getting for a trip to the ancient pseudoscience station. Thule site fragments come together to craft full Thule site chunks, and full Thule site chunks are needed to craft some of the best items, weapons, and armor in the entire game. So yes, the village biome could serve you quite well there, although there are better options. But finally, relics. Things that appear so worthless and simple, and yet have such hidden, interesting mechanics to them. Chances are, you will be finding most relics to be already broken, but one can repair them with rocks to gain 20 sanity per repaired relic. And the loot tables for these things are all sorts of random. Tables and chairs drop rocks 80% of the time, cut stone 10% of the time, frazzled wires 5% of the time, and have a 0.2% chance to drop gears, green gems, yellow gems, orange gems, or nightmare fuel. On top of that, vases can drop trinkets 10% of the time, silk, sewing kits, Thule sites, and even additional trinkets 0.9% of the time, or even spawn a cave spider or live splumonkey 0.45% of the time. But as for the plates, bowls, and dishes and such, expect nothing. But most interesting of all is the ancient combinations of items within the ancient chest near the pseudoscience station that lead to rare blueprints of these relics themselves. Yup, it's a whole bloody thing that next to no one even knows about. So, have fun and learn up. So now, everyone, imagine everything we just talked about all in one single compact area. That's the village biome for ya. My overall advice is as follows. Either completely ignore the biome, as your options to access all of what we discussed here today are numerous and far less dangerous, or just immediately start destroying Splue Monkey Ponds the moment you arrive within the biome. The rest is easy. It's the monkeys that are gonna make you wanna rip your own dang head off. And really, the only last note would be this. Even if you clear every last Splue Monkey and Splue Monkey pod, even if every Slurper meets its end, and even if every Thule site wall is crushed, the village biome will be one of the locations fully reset by killing the ancient fuel weaver. So, good stuff. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.